Hey, good evening, everyone. It's yours truly, Tammi B and Company, and I am excited. And first, I have to apologize. I'm going to talk about it a little later, but we had some technical difficulties. And so we thought we were streaming, but we weren't. So we were like 10 minutes into the combo. I'm like, can someone check? Because I'm not sure if we are. But we are. So we are here with another session of Real Talk with Tammi B and Company. And I am grateful for each and every one of you being part of our viewing tonight. And thank you for your patience. Hope you haven't left us. And if you see this later, just understand that much gratitude. I got to breathe because I'm a little frazzled right now. But before we get started, I do want to ask you, if you are not part of our community, to support us by subscribing to the channel as we bring you new content every week. And if you have a story to tell, please feel free to reach out to me and we will have conversation about you getting on the show, to which I'm excited tonight. I have a guest by the name of Beloved DyNasty. Good evening, Beloved.
And it's beloved.
Beloved. I'm sorry. Beloved. Okay. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for joining. To which I'm going to read her bio in a moment, you beautiful people. And I also have my girl Cola E the Great. What's good, Miss Cola?
It's all good. Like I said before, honey, life is out here lifing, and I'm just sitting back and trying to move forward with the people.
Yes. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. And our man Shelly Sims of Shelly Solution. What's good, Shelly?
Same old same, just working. Like they say, life is definitely lifing right now. Yes, it is.
Woo! Look, I think we can all take a moment on that one, because yes, it is. Like, I don't even know if there's enough time in the day to talk about everything that's going on, because like, you look, this is what life is. So much is going on. You could wake up talking about it, take a break, have something to eat, come back, still be talking, and there's more, and then have another drink or whatever, and it's just more and more and more. You just, we can't get to the end of it. But we got to still, keep hope. We got to stay encouraged and
stay encouraged. Try to stay around positive thinking. Try to remind our how we've come through in the past. We definitely, we have to learn to monitor who we give our energy to and who we allow in our space. Because there's so much out here, honey. You can listen to all the horror stories and get drugged down to the ground and feel like there's no hope for you.
That part, and I promise you, they doing everything to keep you caught in to the web of the horror stories. So definitely, I'm always saying, tend to you, tend to your well-being, tend to your mental health. I'm always encouraging, of course, first and foremost, stay connected to God, stay in prayer, stay in meditation, get out in nature, do things to make you smile, to make you happy, because you're going to need it to get through these times. So I want to introduce our guest of the hour, and we're going to try to still see how much of the little chit chat we can squeeze in before she share her story, which I am super duper duper excited, because this is the first time she's telling the entire story to anyone. So we get the privilege. I heard a high level part of the story, in which I will tell you guys how we met. Being that she has been paralyzed, I met her doing a 5K walk. Okay. And let me tell you, the crew that I was walking with left me, and I ended up with her. But one thing I said a moment ago, God is intentional, and I believe it was meant for us to meet. And she made my walk so entertaining. It didn't even feel like a walk, because she is a clown, and I love it. Oh, I had a ball with her. Okay, so let me give you a little bit about Be Loved. is a visionary committed to positive global transformations, embodying proactive change making, and setting a standard of excellence in any work environment. With a deep reverence for spirituality that's guided by faith in God, Jesus Christ, Be Loved life philosophy centers on making a difference. The steadfast commitment to excellence and faith forms the foundation for surpassing expectations and inspiring peers. And I promise you, she inspired us on that walk. I promise you. Beyond professional achievements, Be Loved DyNasty finds true fulfillment in creativity, particularly in acting, where the art of storytelling fosters empathy and understanding. This passion extends to meaningful acts of service, including volunteer work, mentorship, and philanthropy, driven by a desire to uplift others. Be Loved embodies compassion and empathy, inspiring others to join in the pursuit of a brighter tomorrow. As a beacon of positivity, I can attest to that, and progress, Be Loved aims to leave a lasting impact through kindness, exceptional performances, and transformation initiatives. Welcome, Be Loved. Thank you, my dear, for so much for joining us, because I know to share this story is going to be powerful, and it's going to show, you can overcome. It's up to you. Just as Cola was just talking about, staying positive, staying around people that keep you in the right mindset. I am sure when you hear her story, you will be inspired as well and know how powerful you truly are, which is something that I am always preaching. But before we start our little chit chat, question for you, my dear. What's a piece of advice you go back and give your younger self?
Oh, that's such a good one. And it's funny you asked me that, because I always hear that question asked to other people. And I said, one day somebody gonna ask me that, and I want to be ready. And I don't know what I would say to my younger self, but what I feel that I would say to my younger self is pray. You were told to pray every day, all day if you have to, because prayer works. Don't give up, don't stop, don't take a break, pray. Because when you do that, you get to the results faster.
Amen. And it's so interesting that you say that, because this Sunday I'll be in Charlotte speaking at an AME church. Well, actually it's Wadesboro, but it's outside of Charlotte. And one of the things that I have in my message is the power of staying in prayer. So you are absolutely right for that one. Because we need to know that prayer still works. It changes things. Faith moves mountains. You just got to trust, and you have to believe. So real quick, Shelly, what would you go back and say to your younger self?
I've thought about that a lot. And I think as I look at my life, the main thing I probably tell myself is don't worry about missing out. I'm not going to miss out. Take your time and do what you got to do first. Handle your business first. Yeah, that would be it.
Nice. Miss Cola, real quickly, what would you tell your younger self?
I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know.
No, it's fair. It's fair, because nobody really thinks of that question.
It's not that. It's that I've learned so much, those experiences, that I've learned so much, and I've gained so much wisdom from a lot of my mistakes that I'm now able to use them in what I do and when I talk to other people. Like, it's some things that
Mm-hmm.
because it's one of those situations. So I honestly don't know
So,
so much from them.
got you. Well,
Done hard. It's not like I've committed murders. I've gone to prison. Like, I didn't have to get it that hard, to say I regret A, B, C, and D. I have a couple of regrets. The one that I don't want to mention right here is probably the one that I would tell myself.
okay. Well, and sometimes it's not. Well, for me, I'm going to say it for me. If I were to go back and have a conversation with my younger self, I would say learn who you are, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and be true to you. Because a lot of times in life, we live to please others, that we miss being our true and authentic self, and be brave and bold enough to make the mistakes. The mistakes shape you into the person who you are today. So those are some of the things that I would tell my younger self. Okay, so before we talk about the next topic, we have a Wolf's Play in the chat. Hey, Wolf's Play. I would tell younger self to question everything. That'll be a lot of questioning. Oh yes, know that. Yeah. Oh. Listen, the Matrix says that all the time. Know thyself. Yes. Thank you for that. I love that. So yes, I love that. Know thyself. That's one of the things that I would tell my younger self. I love that. Okay, so I got a little something for y'all. So did y'all know that today is National Poetry Day and National Chocolate Caramel Day? Oh yeah, we're gonna start having some fun food.
I know that, and I love writing poetry. I should write a poem tonight.
No, it's about chicken, girl. It's the chicken.
Oh, that poultry. I thought you said poetry.
I'm sorry. I should have just said National Chicken Day. Today is National.
Well, I'm gonna still write a poem, okay?
Exactly.
Write it about some chicken.
Yes, and
I'm gonna send it to y'all.
You said I'm still thinking you were saying poetry in the beginning, but poetry. I'm thinking chicken poetry.
Make it happen.
But hold on, I got another one for y'all, because I'm gonna start bringing these every day of the year. Is something different. So on Wednesdays, I'm gonna start telling y'all what day it is. Today is also somebody put the poetry laughing. Be love. It's National Let's Laugh Day. So it's so fitting that you are on this platform today, because girl, you had me cracking.
That's not gonna work for me. And you know what's funny? On my fade board, I literally have the words "less is more." Not on my watch.
No, you want to laugh. You want to laugh.
Laughter is like very much needed. Like, I want to go to comedy shows so bad, but they don't have no wholesome comedy shows. They'd be like, yeah, I'm trying to stay away from that. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Say that again, Cola.
We have Corey Holcomb coming. Corey Holcomb is going to be here with Lil Duval, and they just not funny to me. I mean, Corey is funny. Let me take it. Corey is funny, but about the wrong stuff. Corey gets so gutter and ratchet with it, and it's funny. But to be honest, I don't like a lot of cussing. It takes away from the comedy. It takes away. Not that I have a judgment on cussing and none of that. It really takes away from the comedy to me.
I got you. Well, honey, let me tell you. And I'm so honored. When I tell y'all, I'm so behind on my social media posts because my son took me to see Cat Williams a couple weeks ago. So for a 31-year-old to take his mom to see Cat Williams, I am so blessed that, he yeah, my mom is worthy of that. And when you talking about the cursing, Monique had them Christian women in there clutching her pearls because she showed up. She showed up on the stage too, and them women, and oh my God, I'm like, oh, they clutching their pearls around here, and oh my gosh, what's the other girl name? Melody. Oh my God, y'all know her, but honey, some of the stuff she was saying, I'm like, oh my God, I'm with my son. I'm like, oh my God, I'm with my son. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even act like whether I agree or disagree with what she's saying because I'm here with my baby. Oh, but now somebody put in the chat, Country Wayne does clean comedy. Okay. So just keep that in mind.
For me, it's not necessarily comedy. It's just sometimes a lot of cussing. It just doesn't make sense. It's not even comedy.
Well, when people don't know what to say, they throw in curse words, right? Mm-hmm. Melody Camacho, that was her name, Melody Camacho. But yeah, she was funny.
Like the cuss words are just fillers. Like
that's what I say. When they don't know what to say, they throw in a curse word.
It makes sense. Mm-hmm. So that's not a judgment. It's just that it takes away from the funny, like from the creativity, because anybody can cuss. But can anybody make somebody laugh with a real joke, like you laughing from the pit of your stomach, without using a filler?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, all right, but hold on. I want to give you guys a real quick laughter on a quick note on the benefits of laughter. Forget about the old saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." If you want to be healthier, you are encouraged to enjoy the many benefits of laughter. Laugh heartily every day and many times a day. They say laughter is the best medicine. And there is plenty of truth to this statement. Medical studies have shown that laughter lowers the level of the stress hormone cortisol in your body, which reduces stress. Laughter lowers blood pressure, increases the immune system, and increases your heart rate. It lightens your mood and makes you happier. Laughter is also proven to help you sleep. It takes energy to laugh, which burns calories. These should be enough reasons to cause you to laugh as often as you possibly can. To which, that's why my coaching niche, I'm right here on the cusp of launching my life coaching business, and I'll let you guys know to set up a session, but it's happiness. Because I learned if you learn how to be happy, you can live a more positive and joyful life. By the way, have you all ever heard of laughter yoga? Any of you ever heard of that? Mm-mm. So I learned about it in my life coach studies. And I even heard, when I went and looked it up, I even heard Taraji Henson talk about it around that time. And it's just like something that you just laugh. You just laugh for like 1 or 2 minutes. And don't even have, you just want to laugh and you want to feel good. So do yourself a favor. Although it may seem silly AF, but it's beneficial. So go on YouTube and look it up. It's called laughter yoga. And also, let me tell you, I said earlier how intentional God is, because the day after I did my research on laughing, I visited a holistic doctor who is helping me overcome fatigue. And he has me doing a detox of my liver in particular But one of the things, yeah, y'all know I was addicted to 5 Hour Energy. That's my confession. But he told me to find something to laugh about on a daily basis. He said that will help with the detoxifying process. So I'm like, okay, God, I love you, I hear you, and I'm all over it. So we are also, oh, okay, somebody also put another fun fact. Tomorrow is our Indigenous Happy New Year. Happy Indigenous New Year. Okay, Happy New Year.
What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
Indians. I think it's Native Americans. Native Americans.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We didn't hear you, Cola.
I was going to ask which indigenous group.
Oh, okay. So Wolf Play, if you know which group, or is it all, let us know in the chat. Okay, so we are still in Women's History Month. Therefore, our honoree this week is Shirley Chisholm. Shirley is the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Congress in 1968 and the first African American to seek the nomination for President of the United States from one of the two major political parties in 1972. She was an outspoken advocate for women and minorities during her 7 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives. And she has a significant quote which states, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. Okay, so shouts out to Shirley, rest in power to her. But her movie is on Netflix, so go and check it out. And so, yes. And you know what? Wolf Play say no, us. We're indigenous. So, all right. Shout out to that too as well. I love it. Happy New Year. Because I do know we're around the Ramadan, but that takes me, actually that does take me into the next thing I wanted to bring to the table. So I'm going to say this quickly. Don't judge me. I just learned something yesterday that the Ramadan fasting time frame is based on the crescent moon. I didn't know that. I just always knew they fasted annually, but I did not know the specifics. And I also learned that it holds immense significance for Muslims, marking the beginning and end of Ramadan, which is the ninth month of the Islamic calendar, signaling the start of, and I don't want to pronounce this incorrectly, but I didn't get with somebody to make sure I'm saying it correctly, Eid al-Fitr. That's what it's EID, then AL-FITR. And then I also learned that the connection to the Quran, Muslims believe that the first verses of the Quran were revealed during the month of Ramadan. Therefore, on the evening of the 27th day, Muslims observe a special night called Laylat al-Qadr, sometimes referred to as the Night of Power. It is believed that Muhammad first received the Holy Quran that night. So shout out to the Muslims and respect to their practice right now, because I know they're really in the midst of that. And the last thing before we get to our story, again, we had technical difficulties. We were behind. I would have had this done by 8 o'clock, but next thing I want to bring to the table, and this may be the first time many of you have ever heard about it, and for those who may have heard about it and be like, I don't believe in that, to which I say it's absolutely fine for you not to believe, but just because you don't believe doesn't mean it's not real. What am I talking about? Mercury retrograde. What is Mercury retrograde? And I really feel tonight we were affected by it. That's why we started late. So real quick, what is Mercury retrograde? 3 to 4 times a year, the planet Mercury appears to travel backwards across the sky. That period is referred to as times when Mercury is in an apparent retrograde motion, or simply Mercury retrograde. To those who practice astrology, these times were traditionally associated with confusion, delay, and frustration. Think undelivered love letters, email blunders, and frazzled travel plans. This, however, is an excellent time to reflect on the past, and it said that intuition is high during these periods, so that's a time to reflect as well. And coincidences can be extraordinary. And in fact, it has been said that folks from the past tend to reach out during this time. And I've actually personally had a couple people tell me that has happened to them. So what do they suggest you do during retrograde? Mercury, the planet Mercury rules communication in all forms: listening, writing, reading, speaking, and so on. So, as well as activities closely related to communications like negotiations and contracts. And it also rules travel, automobiles, shipping, and mailing, which it also affects technology. So, when Mercury is in retrograde, try to remain flexible, patient, and understanding. Allow extra time for travel and avoid signing on to any new contracts that you're unsure of. Double check your email responses and check in with reservations before you take that trip. Take time to review projects and plan before making decisions. You can't stop your life, but plan ahead, have backup plans, and be prepared for possible people with shorter fuses and miscommunication. So just a little something that I wanted to bring to the table, because I know a lot of people have never heard of it. And I was like, when we was having a technical difficulty earlier, I was like, I see it, and I'm going to add this, and we're going to jump into our talk. Back, what was that, about 2023, 2022 December, when Southwest had that major outage, that when they shut down everything because their infrastructure, Mercury was in retrograde at that time too. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but enough of the little educational session, and thank you to my guest. Astrology is very, very relevant. 100, she on that knowledge. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. All right, be loved, my girl. Go ahead, and for those who joined late, just so you know, we are honored and privileged because this is the first time that she is sharing this entire story with anybody. So we are so special, and we are so honored and privileged that you're willing to do this. So, beloved, tell us your story, my dear.
Well. I'll start from beginning to end. And it's crazy. First, I want to say, y'all, it was my fault, y'all, that we late. I didn't know my sound was off and I couldn't hear it. So I just want to apologize to everybody. I take full responsibility. Second, when you said that your group had left you, we had people with us too, and they disappeared. So when we connected, and that's crazy you said that, because I was thinking about that today, like, wow, it was meant to be, because the people we had with us been left. You know, we had a couple people and they left, and you were the one that stuck around, and we won. You know, it was beautiful. And that was actually my first time back doing the 5K, because my business, I sell healthy sanitary napkins, and we do 5K runs every year. And that was my first time back since I had was in the hospital. So starting from beginning, I was playing with someone else's kids. I wanted to play with my own, but they didn't want to come outside. And I had seen these kids outside. And in my mind, I wanted always do something for the community. I'm like, well, you know, kids always want their parents to play along, and I ain't see nobody parent out there. So I went out there to go play with them. We played a game of football. I got the touchdown. So I think what happened to me was worth it.
Okay.
And then we was playing kickball. And next thing I know, I was on my way to home base. And next thing I know, in my peripheral vision, all I can see is my leg go one way and my knee go another way. And I was on the ground. And I couldn't get up. And my neighbor came out. The kids I was playing with got scared. And they ran to go tell their parents and my neighbor. And she knew right away. She knew I had broke it. She just didn't want to tell me. But I couldn't get up, and I ended up in the hospital. And then so I had to, you know, of course, get surgery. So where I had to get surgery at was literally over an hour away. If you live in Georgia, you know everything is far. But unfortunately, this was even further from where I lived. So I get the surgery, but before I get the surgery first, I was bleeding internally, right? So I'm telling y'all, if I did not have God, I wouldn't be here right now. First and foremost, I have to say that I have to give him the glory because I would not be here. I would be dead and gone. And that's just facts. But his blessings overrule facts, and I love it. Yeah. So anyway, I was bleeding internally, so they still sent me home knowing I was bleeding internally. And it's so funny how they introduced me into telling me that my leg was broke. I was sitting in the office or whatever at the hospital, and this lady come behind me and whispers in my ears like, "So your leg is broke." And I'm like, wait, that's how y'all deliver messages? Like, first of all, back up, you're in my bubble. And two, like, what? Okay, you know, whatever. But anyway, so they sent me home because the place that I had to go to that was like an hour away, they couldn't do it until 3 days later. So I'm sitting here bleeding internally. Thankfully, I got praying family, and I prayed. So anyway, the day of the surgery comes, and before I go into surgery, I'll never forget. It's like it happened yesterday. The anesthesia, how we say it, person was here, and the helper was right here. And I don't know if she was on her phone or she just wasn't listening to him, but he said, "Hold on." And he was trying to find the right place so he didn't hit a major artery. But I guess she wasn't listening. So whatever she did, she pumped whatever they was pumping in me, I guess too much, because I felt the worst pain shoot from my knee all the way down to my toe. And I yelled really loud to where all the other people came in to make sure everything was okay. And then from there, I woke up from surgery. And it didn't dawn on me until I got into my room, but I just remember them kept staring at my leg and stuff like that, and I didn't think nothing of it. All I know is they kept asking me, can you feel or whatever? Or, well, this is when I got into my room and they kept asking me. So what they did was there was a nurse and then another person that came in, and the nurse was doing whatever she was doing. At this point, now that I look back on it, I feel like they were trying to distract me because he was playing with my leg and I didn't know it because I'm paralyzed. So I just happened to see in my peripheral vision again. And I said, "What are you doing? Are you playing with my feet?" He was like, "Oh yeah, you don't feel that?" And I'm like, "No." Y'all, when I tell you I wish this on nobody. Like, being paralyzed is the weirdest feeling that you can't feel. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how to describe it because you can't feel anything. It's like me, I'm playing with you, but do you feel me playing with you? You get what I'm saying? So, like, he even was punching my foot, and like, I did not feel nothing. It's as if, like, it was so weird. And I'm like, dude. And I didn't think that I was going to be paralyzed for life. I didn't know. They didn't know. I was in the hospital for almost 2 months. And that's not even the half, you guys. I was treated so wrong in that hospital. Like, I don't even want to go back to hospitals anymore. I prefer, if God, you heal me, you do. If you don't, oh well. I don't want to go to a hospital anytime something happens to me. But anyway, I noticed that when people came to visit me, I would be treated better. And it's so crazy because in your mind, you would think, oh, hospitals are here they're nice, they're here. But when you're in there for that long, you come to find out that they're just about money. And they, like, maybe there might be one person that cared because they love their job, but everyone else, no. Like, I had nurses that barely wanted to take care of me. I got pictures. Like, I don't want to show y'all, but I got pictures. I took notes. I did a journal every day. Like, when I say crust beyond crust, like, I've never seen my body that crusty. Like, it was horrible. And then it was a nurse that she just did something so wrong that I said, I don't want her coming in my room anymore. And she was being a smart, and guess what? The next day, because I know she came in there anyway and did something and just like looked at me, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, do y'all care about my well-being, my mental? On top of that, there was a medicine that they were giving me. They did not tell me the side effects or nothing before they gave it to me. Next thing I know, I was about to die. I almost died 3 times. And they got so scared that they cold turkey took me off. So therefore I had to depend on nothing, because anything else they gave me, it did not work for the pain that I was feeling beyond being paralyzed. So thankfully, my uncle had called. And what I love about him is he always reminds me of my identity in Christ. Because I couldn't have the medicine anymore, because it was either be in pain or die. You know what I mean? Because the side effects were, it can stop your heart. In adults, it affects your memory, your common sense, which I had all those side effects. Still to this day, I can see the side effects, and it sucks because it's like nobody can understand unless they've been through what you're going through. I get it. God does miracles. You watch what you say. I get that. But also God did acknowledge people's things. You know what I mean? So that way they can be healed. You don't just ignore what it is, So long story short, I've had that effect, and my uncle called me one day because I couldn't take the pain, and he was like, you people of God be like, I forgot what word he said, but it reminded me of who I was in him. He was like, so when things get to the fan, hit the fan, who are you? You are a child of God. You are going to get through this. He helped me with my breathing. That helped a lot. So if you're in pain or anything or whatever, breathing really does work. You can ask the military. I heard them say it. And I'm so thankful for him that day. That call changed everything for me. On top of that, this might be TMI, but I would see, and it could have been the medicine they gave me. But you already know, if you know, medicine just enhances the spiritual realm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would see this little girl at the end of my bed. She had on these white clothes, hair black. I would never forget. She was always at the end of my bed. And I don't know what she wanted from me. She never said anything, but she was just always there every night. And then they stopped giving me that medicine. I stopped seeing her. And then they want to call it hallucinations, but I don't believe in hallucinations, baby. Those were demons. So him doing that helped me through my situation. But because I was there so long, unfortunately, like I said, they don't really care, and my insurance didn't want to pay no more. So let me tell you, they kicked me out the hospital so fast that the IV was still in my arm. And I didn't realize it until they had me on the stretcher and I was going through the door, and I just happened to look down like, wait, y'all didn't even take the IV out. Like, my IV's still in my arm. It was just a crazy, crazy, crazy experience. Not to mention, guys, I was an hour away from home, over an hour away, and my kids were at home by themselves. Yes, I had my neighbor, shout out to her. I thank her and her daughter, but they were still by themselves. You know what I mean? And I just thank God for him watching over my kids, having to be the dad and the mom for me while I'm in the bed. And, you know, anybody who know me, I love movies, and I do Friday night movie night every night. And no matter how drugged up I was, every Friday, we did not miss a Friday. With me and my children, they would just put me on FaceTime and set the phone up, and we would watch movies. And that's what kept me going. Cause if you're a mom, you know how it feels to not only about to die, you're paralyzed, everybody's far, they can't take your kids to see you, or their, car's messed up or something. To be away from your kids that long is not a good feeling for moms. You know what I mean? So on top of that, that's why I say I thank God, because I do a podcast. It's called Tats Exclusive Podcast, where I share testimonies. And I always tell God that no matter what, I'm going to do what he asked me to do. And he in the midst of, I was doing my podcast, and so happened that I still went live in the hospital bed and all, half probably drugged up, but I was still going live and doing my podcast. So anyway, so as I get out, I'm still going through the motion. I even try to see about any type of help, like, because my insurance, they only did 1 month of therapy, and they cut me off because they said I was too in critical condition. But don't make sense to me, because when you think someone's in critical condition, don't you think you should continue to help them? So because of the lack of rehab, now my body shift. So now I limp. So one leg's longer than the other. And so, and you didn't know this, Tammy, but I wanted to give up so bad through that walk, because that, like I said, that was my first 5K walk since the incident. But that's why I thank God that I don't have give up in my blood, because he didn't give up on his way to the cross when he wanted to, but he kept going. And that's why I'm just so thankful for him, because the Holy Spirit had to be my memory. The Holy Spirit had to be my common sense. The Holy Spirit had to help me. And I'm out here by myself. So just imagine coming home to not having the nurses help and stuff. It was hard trying to even get help with that situation. So to have your children, these are teens. They got their phones. They're not nurses. They're not built for this. So it was hard having to take care of myself. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair when I finally got feeling back. I still don't have 100%, but something's better than nothing to me. I was in a wheelchair for over 8 months. So just imagine you trying to get your body back, and then you break your leg, and now you've been the biggest you ever been in your life. That's depressing. And I don't know. Like I said, this is my first time telling the full story. So I didn't think that feelings would pop back up. I thought I was okay because I share bits and pieces here and there, and I'm okay sharing that. But just having to go back into that time, it was the most, you know, when they say you don't think life could get worse, like that was probably the worst experience I ever experienced in my life. But it's a good thing in it. And I say that to say this. I have been looking for a home for a long time since I moved back here in Georgia. And then there was a program that I had to do, but I really didn't want to do the program. And like, it was a mental struggle to do the program to get the help that I need. And I told God, I'm like, I can't do this. I don't want to do it. This isn't me, you know, help me. And do you know, the next day I broke my leg. And I look at it now and laugh, but it wasn't funny then. And it's like, that me breaking my leg caused me not only to get the answer that's why they say be careful what you ask for. Get the answer that I asked God for, but he also blessed me in the end. I have this house. I don't have to go looking for a home anymore. Because of my leg, I was able to be blessed with this humongous house that I didn't have to pay, you know? So that was a blessing in itself. So I believe that God doesn't share how we're going to get to our blessings for this very reason. You just got to go through it and put a smile on your face despite the trials and tribulations, because you're going to get through it. You just don't know why this is happening until it happens. And then you're like, oh, that's why I went through this. That's why I went through that. And not to mention, guys, I was booming with my business doing vendor events. And now because of my leg, my doctor only lets me do work from home stuff. So I have to pivot and get people to buy online. That has been a struggle for me, but I still believe that God will make a way out of no way. So just imagine not being able to work for so long. Guys, this happened in 2022. Okay. And I'm still, you know, having the effects of it, but I keep moving on. I keep holding on because he never gave up. So I'm never going to give up, and I can't give up anyway if I wanted to. I don't have time to die. You get what I'm saying? As a mom, you don't have time to do nothing. You know, it's crazy as it may sound, but I'm here. I'm grateful. I'm healthy. I'm getting my body back to where I want it to be. And one day my leg gonna grow back to where it was, and I'm gonna be able to walk without a limp, without having to use the little inserts in my shoe. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to have no pain, and I'm going to have 100% feeling. I'm believing and I'm holding on to that. And I'm just so grateful. And it is so amazing how we met, because like, who comes back from being paralyzed? I don't know anyone. I would love to meet them. So, because like I said, I love hearing testimonies and the things that God has done and can do, knowing that that is something that you cannot do in your own strength, but only he can. And then I'm just so thankful, and I'm so glad we met. And, you know, when they say when people make you laugh the most, it's because they've been through the worst.
So how long were
I would say maybe almost a year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused as to it happened. Was this post-surgery or pre-surgery? Pre-surgery.
Say the question again. You broke up.
Post-surgery, when you became paralyzed?
After the surgery.
Oh,
yeah.
After the surgery. I'm assuming, of course, whatever they did before I went into the surgery is what caused that situation.
So when you woke up and you woke up from anesthesia, you were paralyzed. You couldn't feel anything.
But I didn't know it yet until I got in my room when they was playing around with my leg. I didn't even know I was paralyzed.
Okay, but before going in, you had feeling in your leg.
Oh yeah, I was good. Yeah.
Surgery?
Well, remember before they put me in a surgery, the man was telling the lady to wait because he was trying to find the right spot to put the stuff in so he didn't hit a major artery. But that's why I said she must have not been listening, because whatever she was putting in there.
What stuff? Are you talking about the anesthesia?
I think so.
Your back?
In my leg.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did they put anything in your back?
Nope.
They okay, something went in your IV. Did they put something? Did they tell you what they put in your IV?
Oh, I probably don't remember, but they might have, because I had it on.
Okay, and so they injected something in your leg.
Because whenever she wasn't listening or whatever she was doing, that he told her to wait, but she didn't. That's when I felt the sharpest pain on God's green earth shoot from my knee all the way to the tip of my toe. That made me yell out. Worse than people having birth. I mean, giving birth, should I say.
A nerve. You never decided to you never thought about getting a lawyer?
Well, that's why I said I'm able to share my story the first time, because you got 2 years to do that. But I tried. However, the lawyer that I had, she said that she couldn't work with me anymore because the hospital wasn't giving her the information that she needed. So she told me, good luck. Hopefully I find somebody that can get that info from them. So since then, I would try to find someone, but on top of me with the medicine effect, me having to figure out rehab and taking myself, that was so hard trying to even find somebody. And I still kept trying to find somebody, but by the time I could have had somebody, it was too late. The 2 years were up, and I really did try looking for people. People were saying, oh, well, it's hard to find in Georgia because of this, that, and the third. They stick together. They do this. They do that. So I end up meeting a lawyer, and I called. I talked to people, but I could never get someone to complete the case.
So you never thought about going to a place like a Hughes and Coleman or something of that nature? A law group, a huge law group that normally they'll take your case, and they'll take your case if they know they're going to win, and you don't pay until after the case is resolved, and the money comes from that.
No, I don't know if there's something they can do now. It would be nice, but I definitely tried looking for lawyers. My sister is actually the one I think found the first lawyer that actually tried, but
I'm sorry. I am so confused on this trying thing, because this is clearly a case of malpractice. This is clearly that attorney.
And why am I not getting the help when I'm calling out to these people?
You know what? Honestly, I was expecting, not to say it, but Cola had asked a question before before I was able to say it. I was like, I know you getting paid, but I wasn't going to ask specifics because that was none of my business. Have you really confirmed that the statute of limitations is 2 years?
Well, that's what the lawyers were telling me that claim.
I would ask I'll look up Ben Crump, or what's that man, that fancy dresser? Just ask them. I would ask somebody out of state for a referral and say, I would do whatever research. Don't let them get away with this. Mm-hmm. Don't let them get away. And to hear they're all in this together, I feel that's just people who was not really concerned about your best interest. It's not, because at the end of the day, you were done the harm, and you deserve every bit of compensation for your pain and suffering. I would not let them get away. I would still ask the question just because.
I think, like, I don't know if you were seeking, those big law firms. I don't know if do you guys have a Hughes and Coleman in Georgia?
I've never heard of them.
So are you familiar with those big law firms that most of the time they're car wreck law firms and they're huge malfunction malpractice law firms, but most of the time they're a big law firm. You'll see them they're constantly advertising about malpractice. And what the way they work is they'll take the case, they can win, and you pay them out of what you receive from the lawsuit.
You know what? I would even ask, this would sound so crazy. You know how you have these big billboards in Atlanta for all these accident companies? I would ask one of them big accident attorneys if they have a recommendation.
Yeah.
I would not, sweetie, please don't let this go. Try again. Somebody put in the chat, it's best to present your own case in proper person. I still feel going up against big insurance companies. I mean, big hospital, you need a big lawyer. Now, somebody put in the chat, the limitation of 2 years is for car accidents, they think. I believe it is a 10-year limit in most states. A real attorney can give you that info. Yeah, I don't feel this is a 2-year thing. I really would dig a little deeper on that.
Yeah, because like I'm telling y'all, I've been calling, and it's not easy because, like I said, and with the medicine and stuff, I'm not supposed to be in overwhelming, stressful situations because it triggers it. So every time it's like, oh my gosh, like, and people don't understand what was going on in my mind. And that's why I thank God for everything. So if you see me walking, you see me remembering something, you see me walking with common sense, it's not me, it is him.
So
literally.
As to, and I know you didn't come on the show for this. I know you didn't come on the show for this at all. But let's say this move away. Like Tammi said, don't let this ride. I believe you, the lawyers that you've been getting, they are, I don't know if they, were independent lawyers working for themselves and weren't powerful enough to go against a corporation like a hospital. I don't know if you were at a state hospital or at a corporate hospital.
Wellstar.
Corporation. What's it called?
Wellstar.
I don't know if it's owned by a corporation.
I'm assuming because they got a lot of locations. Okay. So I don't know.
Like, and I know this is nationwide. You have HCA. HCA has many, under that HCA hospital, they have a multitude of hospitals I'm in Tennessee, they have them in Atlanta, they have them in Florida. That is a huge corporation that owns tons of hospitals. So, and a hospital is a big thing. So when you have an independent lawyer trying to go against a big hospital like that, they know they don't have the power to do it.
And they would lie to me, telling me they gonna help me with my kids. I don't know if they was just trying to get me out the hospital or what.
Who?
The people that would come see me with the white coats on at the hospital. They were like,
people with the white coats.
I don't know if it was the nurses or if it was just like their counselor of the hospital or something like that. I think the counselor of the hospital, that they were going to help me. They were going to get somebody to help with my kids. And I just want to say thank God that they didn't get taken away from me, because that would have been a whole nother situation.
The hospital social worker. That's what that was.
Yeah, yeah.
And so while you're in the girl, what's the name of this hospital? Because it sounds like a horrible hospital, and all hospitals aren't like that.
She said Wellstar.
Sounds like a horrible hospital.
Yeah, and you want to know what's crazy? This is the kind of stuff you used to hear about Grady. Like, people, even though Grady is a trauma hospital, like, a lot of people do not like to go to Grady.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, wheeling you out the hospital, they have the IV in your arm, that's negligence within itself. That says a lot about the nursing skill there. This is just bad. But let's, like Tammi said, call one of those, like she said, the billboards in Atlanta, the car accident law firms. Those are huge law firms most of the time. And they can refer you. If you tell them what's going on, they may have a branch in which they do that themselves. But those lawyers in the big law firms, you know, they have a law association. So mingle and they know one another. And they could possibly refer you. So I would start there. Don't let this go another week without, you know, checking to see if you can find a referral. These independent lawyers don't. You've been there, you've done that. Now start targeting those big lawyers with the big law firms, and don't think that you don't have enough money to pay. Because what happens is, again, if they feel like there's a case that they can win, they will take your case. And when you win, their pay comes out of your wins. That's how they do that. So don't feel like you don't have it. You're not going to even need any money up front.
Yeah, and you have a winning case. Like,
you have a malpractice case, period.
Hands down, you do. You do.
Pull out all of you said you noted and all of those things, pull out your notes and, you know, all of that stuff to refresh in your memory so that when you were telling them your story and what you went through, you know, it will be a viable story.
Yeah.
Here, that is torturous.
Yeah, it was a bad experience. I never want, and I want to say shout out to Michelle. I believe that was her name. I really want to shout her out because she was one of the volunteers that would just come bring patients water, like on Sundays. And I just want to say shout out to her. I hope she's doing well because she wasn't an atheist. She told me it's not an atheist. It's something else that's close to atheist. I forgot. She explained it to me. But she said she loved coming to my room because she felt the spirit of God. And I just was really grateful for that. In the midst of my trauma, I was still able to encourage someone else. And that made me happy. And I just want to say shout out to her.
That's all. That is
good. Amen.
Yeah.
And somebody put in the chat, you have the power to do it, and the lawyers and attorneys know it, but they're not going to tell us that. And they said all lawyers / attorneys are vampires. Look up attorneys in a law dictionary like Henry Campbell's Black Dictionary Law 4th edition or earlier. Mm-hmm. Well, I can't disagree. I just don't like the way this played out for you. Like, my heart really goes out to you because you can
y'all see that? Like, look how raggedy I look.
It is not clear. It's a glare, but yeah. But yeah. But the fact that, you know, first of all, I hate that for you. I hate that happened to you.
Look at that. That's disgusting.
But what you saying? The crust on your feet?
Yes.
Like, and the main thing is the paralyzation and the fact that you're walking.
Yeah, that part. But I mean, at least, dang, can you take care of me at least?
Right. Okay. So somebody put in the chat, contact the Georgia Bar Association for additional advice. So I was contacted Georgia Bar. I was trying to think of who I was thinking earlier who to try to contact. Contact them, but still look on them billboards. I don't know if it's Motley and Associates or one of Shelly Smile. I think that's one of them big accidents attorney in Georgia. Cause somebody number 404-222-2222. That's the easiest number to remember. Dial that 404-222-2222 and see who they can recommend you to. Girl, we are praying and advocate, you know, praying that you get, you know, you've been through a lot. You deserve to be compensated.
The thing is, you're walking around with a disability now.
Right.
And disability kept denying me. Even the lady that represents me, she was even mad that they denied me. So she put in an appeal. So I'm still waiting on that. And I was like, I don't have time to wait. So I've been trying to grow my business. And so we're going to see how that goes. I just met with a wonderful lady I met at her place of work. And she just gave me some ideas. So I'm going to work them. I've been working them since she told me the other day. So we're going to see how that helps grow my business, because picture yourself not being able to work for that long, and now you're working. It's like a job is never going to fulfill your bills or your needs. You do have to have at least 7 sources of income. And so that's what I'm working on. Not waiting on disability, not waiting on these lawyers to do what they should be doing for a settlement. I'm just out here trying to get it. I've been building my social media presence with my YouTube channel, hoping to get that, because it's what I love to do. I'm an actress, you know what I mean? That's my passion. That's what takes me away from acting. And not only that, the enemy tried to take that from me with that medicine, because you need your memory to act. And I'm just so thankful. November was my first stage play back from the incident, and I was able to remember my lines. God is so good. That was a struggle, but God is good, and I did so good. People thought I really had the disability that the girl I was playing a sweet young lady with autism. So it was a really, really nice play. It's called this Differently Able. So y'all can check that out. Auditions actually next weekend or this weekend.
Where is it at?
It's
you said Differently Abled?
Yes, you can go to differentlyabledthemusical.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the auditions for people who want to try out, is this Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd and the 23rd is going to be, I think, in Union City. But you can look on Deontay Bolden Productions on Facebook or Instagram, and you guys can find the flyer with the address.
Okay, so do this for me. I feel this is a good time for you to do that. You mentioned your YouTube channel, you're growing, and your support. We want to support you. What is the name of your YouTube channel, so those who are viewing can go and subscribe? Such as myself, I'll be subscribing as well.
My name, Beloved DyNasty.
Beloved DyNasty.
Yep. So y'all can easily find it. It used to be Beloved That's a Promise, because God promised me, and it was so long that when people look it up, they don't want to put the That's a Promise together, so they see somebody else. So I just put my last name to make it easier for everybody.
Oh, somebody look, girl, see, you got support around you already. Another contact, ABA Free Legal Answers, Georgia, free online brief legal advice and counsel. So I'm going to download the chat so you can pull it from there. So yeah, we're supporting you. You got a community that's supporting you. So you also, I heard you mention your business, and it's interesting because the company, part of your business is Rain, and the gentleman who we had last week was Kevin. And I met Kevin through an event put on by let me say this correctly. I was at a networking event, and I met Damon, and Kevin and Damon know each other. And so I didn't even realize that you were under the Rain umbrella as well. So, and I actually there is somebody in the future that was going to come on and talk about it, but I'm sure they have some more stuff that they can talk about. Tell the people about Rain, because we want to see what we can also do to support your business also, because yeah, this is community here. Tell us about your
Yeah,
business.
I appreciate it. So we sell premium healthy sanitary napkins with graphene infused strip inside. It's a Nobel Prize winning solution. And what that does is it's very thin, so you don't think like, oh, it's gonna do anything, but baby, it packs a mean punch. Like, I'll give you my testimony. I used to have, and for men, it is for the woman's menstrual. However, men use it too. They literally put it in their shoes as comfort, and I guess men feet sweat or something. So it soaks up that sweat. So the men's feet don't have to smell, because it does fight aroma. It helps boost your immune system. It's known for removing toxins out the body, killing 99.9% of bacteria. I've used it for a headache before. I know this sounds crazy, but I've been learning so much that you can do with this pad. But of course, it's built and known for the monthly, but it's really changing flows. I used to think that blood clots were normal, and they're not. My flow went from 5 to 3 days. I don't bleed heavy anymore. I don't even have any cramps anymore, because it is known for removing those bad cramps. Like, that's how I could tell when I was gonna come on. I would have very bad cramps, but now I don't know. I just hope I get like right now, I get one of those menstrual things, because I'm like, I don't have the cramps anymore, so I don't know when I'm coming on. And sometimes it's so thin, I forget that I'm on my monthly sometimes. It's really, really amazing. What my goal is to help the women's in shelter with it, the women's in the jails, the girls in the school, so that way they can focus more on school versus having to leave school because their monthly is so bad. People who have those thyroids. I love. Now, of course, I do it for the testimonies, because I hear so many amazing testimonies, because it changed my life. And all I can do is pray that it changes yours. So you can go to welcometoparadise.life. And that's all one word. And the 2 is spelled out TO, welcometoparadise.life. Or you can go to my Instagram, which is official Welcome to Paradise. And the link is in there. You can just click on it if it's easier for you to go from Instagram.
So
And
in it that helps it dissolve or prevent clots, and what's in it?
That graphene strip. It's a Nobel Prize winning solution.
What's it called?
Graphene.
What's in it? What is in it? What is? Because I know the ingredients are on the box. It is on the box of the packaging.
So it's vegetable based. Has 10 layers, 8 layers of protection. Excuse me. It has 8 layers of protection. It's very thin. It has also what I believe what helps with the aroma is it's not plastic. So it has holes on it. That's a layer. So that way you're breathing good. It has like a built-in air condition because we get hotter during that time of the month. So it kind of cools you off with the cotton part of it. And then it has the strip, and then it has like the double fold where it cuffs that pockets. It has wings, and for ladies who don't like wings, you can literally just cut it off. Easy peasy, just cut the wings off. And we got new design too, guys, so it's pretty cool. Dang, I have some of this in my bathroom. I will show you guys. Yes.
And what's so interesting? And I'm sorry, y'all. I have been all over the place. I've been trying to get doing too much, but I actually had the opportunity to do a tour of Rain's facility this Saturday. It'll be 2 Saturdays ago, and Damon personally was giving the tour, telling us all about it, and he also did a sample of pretty much pouring like water into the pad, and then like like triple, quadruple what the average woman would release a month, and it absorbed it all. And I do have the YouTube, so I meant the video, so I do need to put that up on YouTube. But it's definitely a product, especially women that are having problems, heavy bleeding, the cramps, everything she's saying. He's had, and I don't want to give the wrong number, and be loved if I'm saying it, if you know this number, correct me. Over the past, 4 years, he's had like over hundreds of thousands Better Business Bureau compliments, 5 stars.
Yeah, we don't have no complaints.
No, out of hundreds of thousands of women reporting this product to the Better Business Bureau. So, and again, I mentioned Damon last week when Kevin was on. He was featured in Black Enterprise. He was on Essence. So this product, it definitely does its work. But again, I didn't know that you were a distributor of that. So I'm glad to know that, because there's someone that I know that suffers from a heavy cycle, and I bought them a supply.
Thank you for that. We need more people who care about others, because it's not easy out here. Because literally, we can have less women getting hysterectomies. We can have less women bleeding more than they're supposed to. Like less than, like when people bleed more than 5 days, 7 days, it's not a period. You're not on your period at this point. There was a lady who shared her testimony. She bled for 10 days. And once she started using my product, I think she said she's down to 4 days. And like I said, everybody's different, because like I said, I have 5. I'm down to 3. You know, my daughter, she was 7 and now she's at 4. So every woman, of course, is different, because that's how God built you to be different. But I love how people have a testimony.
As do I. And somebody put in the chat, it was 5 years. So 5 years on the Better Business Bureau, perfect rating, no complaints, no anything. And
here is sorry.
Say that again, Cola.
Here's another great benefit too. So you got to think, if it stops cramping, if it stops cramping, what that also means is you have less women taking NSAIDs, Tylenol, ibuprofen, all the pain medications. Some people even take oxys because the pain is so much. So you have less women having to take that. What those do is thin the blood, and then if they're not taking it right, they get ulcers. And then who have ulcers already, people who do have ulcers already that have cramps, well, what do you think they take on top of the ulcers that they already have? So the product that y'all have is a great preventative for people who already have issues when it comes to taking pain medications during that period time. I used to take BCs and still do sometimes if the cramps were out of control, but BCs are not good for you at all. And so with y'all's product, it's really a holistic
game changer.
It's a holistic product that is really all these other medications that are, and most women take some type of pain medication when they are cramping.
Listen, when I and I'm one who has had a partial hysterectomy, when I had mine, I would have to take 800 milligram ibuprofen and still add some Tylenol, and I was doing that like every 3 to 4 hours. It was bad. It was bad. And I would look what you said earlier, TMI. I literally would have to use super everything and still had to change regularly. So this would have been a major game changer for me, but mine took place in 2009, and that became the best thing since sliced bread for me.
You know what? People who don't have periods, they still wear our panty liners. And for those ladies who work out, we now have thong panty liners. So it's a big win whether you have a period or not.
Yeah, he gave me some samples, so maybe I will start. Yeah, he gave me some samples, and so yeah, but that I love it because I think his wife is what kind of inspired him. Because I think if I recall the story, she was having some issues too, and this changed the story for them. So definitely, everyone, as she said, go, especially if you know someone that has a site. Because even at that day when I did the record, and I promise you guys, I'm gonna get that recording on YouTube for y'all to tour the studio. I'm at the facility because it's down here in McDonough, Georgia. But even guys, I just lost my train of thought. I should have left that part out about the location.
You look like you feel left out. They got some pads for men too.
I'm listening. I'm soaking it all up and
put it in your shoe. I'm telling you.
Daughter, you have a daughter. That's what I was gonna say. It was a man there buying it for someone that he knew.
And you know what's crazy? Which is really crazy to me, but I get it because women like what they like. But the men are killing it than we are. Like, how can y'all sell something that y'all don't even go through better than us? But I get it. Women like men, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but we gotta support our sisters. So definitely, because even in the video, like he talked about, his mom even uses it, and she's 80-something years old. So there's
you should wear the panty liners every day because, like I said, it helps boost the immune system, the metabolism. You know.
Oh, okay. So you know what? Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and start using them. Somebody put in the chat the men can wear them under the arms for you heavy sweaters.
Oh, that's a good.
How would you attach them though? I'm sorry. How would you attach them? But
honey, there's other places they can wear them too if they sweat heavy.
Oh, you so.
Oh, baby, I love it when and if you live in Georgia, you know it be hot out here, and baby, it catch all that.
Yeah, using it as an underwear liner, ain't nothing wrong with that.
And so so you just mentioned the summer. You mentioned the summer and the heat. So even just like the liner, you say it absorbs odor and stuff like that because you know
for helping the aroma, the sweat, all of that.
Oh, okay. Well, it is almost summer.
This might be TMI, and I pray to God that I don't go viral for this. That's my one big thing is to never go viral for the wrong reasons.
Okay, hold on, before you say it, Tammi will put this on TikTok. Okay. So, if
it happens and it saves some woman life, it's worth it to me.
Yes, that's what this is about.
Y'all, so like I said, I've been trying to get my body back. So I've been working on drinking my gallon of water a day, and I've been consistent, and I'm so grateful. However, I was at church one day, and he was praying, and I didn't want to be rude to God. Because I had used the bathroom and I was just trying. I didn't think the prayer was going to be as long as it was. But as soon as they said amen, I ran to the bathroom. But y'all, I did not make it. But thankfully, I had the pad on. But I say that to say this. When I went to go wipe myself, when I still went into there, I was dry. Do you hear me? I was dry. And I know the pad is amazing, but I ain't never peed on myself before. You know what I mean? So, and you know that gallon of water pee is different from regular pee.
It is.
So for me to be dry, I was like, baby, if there's got to be a selling point for me, I just got to put myself out there.
But you just came up with another one because a lot of women are wearing them thick, women.
Yes, you guys can definitely wear the pads for sure.
Yeah, so that could be some. So they don't have to wear those thick ones anymore.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Cola.
Depend, a new and improved depend.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, depends.
It did.
Oh, so girl, look, I'm telling you, you better start marketing the senior women.
I be posting every day. I kid you not. I said maybe marketing is just not my thing, cause I'm like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? But like I said, I talked to somebody the other day, so we gonna see how this go. Like I said, I have great work ethic. I learn very quickly. I just need that person that's willing to stick by my side until they see the growth that I'm looking for in my business.
It'll
Before
happen.
we move on to someone else.
Well, you do know the first thing to do is write it down. And I'm sure you already said earlier, you're a journaler. So write it down and just see yourself how you want to be this, and write yourself, I am a successful whatever, and visualize it, focus it. Earlier this year, we even did a virtual vision board party. So, put a picture of Rain and say, hey, I'm the queen of Rain or something, which I do want you to also let the people know to vote for you too. So let us not forget.
Yes, guys. I'm
Forget
super
about that. But hold on, a couple of chat comments. I guess when I was talking about under the arms and somebody said it will stick to the shirt, but then somebody actually asked adult Pampers. So, yeah.
You won't, it don't look like you got one on. It's
adults that are walking around with stuff like that. There are even some women now that they bleed so heavily, they have to have period panties. And they're like adult Pampers in a sense. Mm-hmm. So, definitely. But even not even about the adults, like, they're young adult women, young girls, high school, like then that could be a game changer for them. Mm-hmm. Cause the hormones in the food these days is really affecting our girls. They're starting their cycles earlier and earlier.
Yeah. So the youngest customer I had was 8, y'all. That broke my heart. 8. You just came out the womb and you already got to deal with this. I'm just glad she came to me, because now you ain't ever got to experience the craziness that we had to experience all these years with the store-bought brands.
Whoa, like you stopped me with that one. Wow, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty big there. So yeah, so definitely, I believe in the product, and like I said, I definitely want people, do your research, look into it, because if it changes your life, everything that makes your life better, that's what it should be about. And you just said something to me as far as the summer coming right around the corner, especially with this bipolar weather. Cola, I don't know about Nashville, but how is it we 70 one day, 30 the next, back to the 80s? Like, what in the world is going on? And that's how this weather has been. Like, my computer all day, temperatures to rise tomorrow, temperatures to plummet Thursday. It's like, okay. So, yeah. So, when it consistently can get to that one heat factor, that's definitely something to know. And then, like you said, with the odor, the bacteria boosting the immune. I like that. Anything that's going to boost our immune. So look, tonight, y'all take away laughter to help boost your immune, and a sanitary napkin to help boost your immune. I mean, it sounds funny, but very serious here. We really are. We really are very serious here. Mm-hmm. So this is good. So tell the people about the voting.
So guys, I'm super excited. If you guys know Jordan Sparks, I think that's her name. Lord, please. But anyway, so she has a super mom contest, guys, where I believe like the winner gets like a trip to California and $20,000 and something else, I think. For moms, and moms go through a lot. They do a lot, especially me in my situation, having to raise 3 children in the midst of all my turmoil and things of that nature, baby, I need a break. So I need y'all to vote for me, because the only way we can win is through votes. So you guys can go. I posted on all my social media, so don't matter if you on my YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok. My TikTok is official Beloved. My YouTube is Beloved DyNasty. You can go to my Instagram, which is official Welcome to Paradise, or you can go on Tats Exclusive Podcast. Either way, voting doesn't start till April 7th. So please set your calendars. And when you see the post, click it, bookmark it, because you have to vote daily, okay? And in order for me to move to the next round, I think the 17th is the last day to vote. So y'all vote. And you can even buy votes too. But yes, guys, please vote for me, because I need that trip, okay? I'm telling you, I need that me time. And not only that, that $20,000 can help grow my business, grow my podcast, help me invest in my children, and so much more. So guys, that way I don't have to get a loan.
You're gonna get a lawsuit. We just gonna go ahead and send that into the universe, that energy. You gonna get paid for your pain and suffering from your situation. So that's what we're gonna put out there in the universe for you, and God is going to answer it and manifest it. Somebody put in the chat, and I do believe this, but y'all know I get to the left, but I still love and trust God. Government practices weather manipulation. Anybody else on this platform have ever heard about that?
They do.
Yeah, it's not a practice. They do it.
They do it.
I'll send you some stuff. They do it.
Oh no! Listen, in Florida, they have banned those devices. Florida has banned the weather manipulation devices. And then, over the other year in Dubai with the cloud seeding, they was over there trying to make it rain, and it flooded.
It ended up flooding the whole darn place like a ding dong.
They've been doing that since, what war was that? The Vietnam War.
Yeah, that was a weapon they used in that war.
Really?
They made it rain so their tanks and stuff couldn't travel.
This is nothing new. Yeah.
But they need to stop it, because it's making my darn gas bill $400. So they can stop with the bull right now. In the name of Jesus, I tell you that.
The Vietnam War. So 2025, the Vietnam War was in the in the 60s and 70s, late 60s and early 70s.
I'm too young for that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Kelly, Shelly he full of crap.
We had uncles that were in the Vietnam War. We had uncles that were in the Vietnam War, and I want to say it was in the 70s. Yeah, it's 70, early 70s. But yes, they were using that technology then.
I knew about it, but I just didn't know to that magnitude. So, and that's a lot of times every day. Yeah. So like some of these tornadoes, definitely a lot of that stuff is really man-made. But of course, everybody like to say Mother Nature and God. No. Some of these, I said it a while back, even on this platform. There is a hurricane tornado device out there, and there's a patent on it. If you Google it, you will see that they can make that. So that's sometimes how they become so good at these weather manipulations or predicting certain things, and then they sell. When they don't know what's coming because they do a trashy job. You think it's gonna rain all day last weekend, and it didn't rain until overnight. Threw all my little plans off. What you was trying to say, Cola?
I was just gonna say they've been doing it for 50 years, so they do know what they're doing. This has been in progress for 50 plus years, so they do know what they're doing. But
because it never hits the millionaires' homes.
But I don't think that this is something that they're sitting like this for an hour-a-day job, while that they're literally controlling daily weather for the entire planet 24 hours a day. I don't think it's done like that, but they definitely use it to their benefit.
It feels like that because, like, it seemed like nowadays everybody going through the same thing. You know what I mean? Not just one state, not just one city, but everybody is
Yeah.
going through the same weather.
Yeah, because it travels. Like Dallas, for instance. It's so crazy to me how extremely hot Dallas gets in the summertime, but now in the winter it'll snow in Dallas even when it don't snow in Atlanta. Like they don't have more snow days than we have. So that's crazy.
So I don't. I mean, they do use it to their advantage, but I don't think they sitting up. Like I said, like it's a 24-hour job. Somebody just controlling the weather 24 hours.
Oh yeah, no, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. We do know nature, because even these earthquakes, some of these earthquakes is because of all the foolishness, the earth has to rebalance itself. But somebody did put in the chat global warming.
And global warming. But global warming is real. But you know what? Where I do see them using this to their benefit is, it's always crazy to me that Haiti has these earthquakes, but the Dominican Republic, that shares the same piece of land, does. They're neighbors. There's not a split. They're over. The DR is right next to Haiti. You can walk from Haiti to the DR.
Wow.
They're not two separate islands. They're on this one plot of land. You got the DR. On the other side, you literally can walk to Haiti and back and forth to the DR, Haiti and DR. And Haiti is always the victim of it.
Wow. But now, do you think maybe because Haiti is known, no disrespect to anybody, but Haiti has a reputation of practicing voodoo and stuff like that?
Could be.
No.
You know?
Because of the energies and the frequency. But I was going to say there's another thing, and I mean, this is going to take our conversation elsewhere. So I'm just saying this one thing and stop it there. I think the world, the governments are continuing to punish Haiti because they could not control and rule Haiti.
Right.
Okay, you bleeped out. I want to make sure people heard that clearly. Say that again.
The governments of the world are trying to punishing Haiti and trying to destroy Haiti because they couldn't conquer Haiti. You know, Haiti was the only island. Hold up, Haiti and in Ethiopia, they were the only two places where they could not conquer the people and enforce slavery. The Haitians scared the French off and the Spanish off. They were poisoning the slave owners, and the slave owners they invested a lot of money. They took their horses over there. They did a lot of stuff in Haiti because they wanted to make their home like the United States. But the Haitian people were not having it. Practicing voodoo on the whites. They were poisoning the whites. They did not allow it to be successful. So because of that, the French government ended up suing Haiti. They ended up suing Haiti because they couldn't force Haiti into slavery. Mm-hmm. They invested so much money their next home. They invested so much money, but because they couldn't stuff that they brought over to Haiti, they never were able to do anything with it to make money off the land. They ended up suing Haiti, and I think Haiti is still paying that debt up to now. And that was in the darn 1700s.
Somebody put 1804 in the chat.
Haiti is still financially paying. There is a due that they have to pay still in 2025.
Wow. That's, you know, but we're gonna have to have a more in-depth conversation about that, because I didn't know that.
Haiti. So when I say that I think they're using it to their advantage, Haiti has had a number of earthquakes, and I can't think of any other country in the Caribbean that had earthquakes like this. I said Haiti and the DR, they share the same land. So why is it that they don't have to
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, wow. And you know what? Look, not to prolong the conversation, but that's kind of like with some of what's going on with President Elon Musk. Like you know, like, cause they withdrawing U.S. aids to other countries, including Africa, but they're going to allow the white South Africans to come into the U.S. as refugees. But this is after, to get them to flee from persecution, that because they are having whatever is going on in South Africa. But you got other communities, nationalities that's done been deported. The immigration lines are empty. You got people that voted for 47 saying that their wives or their spouses have been deported, but yet, you're still opening the gateway for
you get some immigrants out while you let the South African immigrants in. Okay.
Yes.
It's a case of you rub my back, I rub yours. The good old boy system. This has nothing to do with. This is not even political. They're up in the White House making bargains and deals with one another. This is what this is about. Elon Musk helped get y'all's president elected.
No, don't say y'all.
Because Elon Musk right now, you got to think this man is almost like the king of technology, and I say that because he has space shuttles. He has the Neuralink that can be implanted in people's brains. That's doing all kind of new technological things. So Donald Trump paired up with Elon Musk, Mr. Technology. We use these voting machines, which are technological. Elon Musk helped him win the vote.
Yeah.
He helped him win the vote through technology. And so with that being said, now Trump is now it's time for him to pay back and rub Elon Musk back. You do this for me, you get me in office, I'll do this for you. This is just a game of power and money. It has nothing to do with what's good for us as people, what's good for us as a country, what's good for the world. This is these are two powerful white men at this point that are now doing favors for one another.
Of course. And this gonna sound so crazy. It's almost like you wish. I almost forgot I was on this live because I was gonna say it differently. You almost wish this man, that ain't the word I was gonna say, this man had got in the last 4 years. Let me tell you why I say that. Because he don't have 4 years to become as extra manipulative, extra all this that he's doing. He was like, oh, they let me wait 4 years. Let me sit and let me think and let me come up with this and let me do this. And he had to get Elon. So he had all this stuff burning and then boom. So it's almost like if he would have got in 4 years ago, he wouldn't have had that extra time to put the momentum behind this foolishness or foolery that he's doing.
All strategic, because he didn't want to lose. And then too, if he had lost, he'd probably be going to prison. But I mean, if he had lost and not became president, but all of this is just, it's definitely strategy. And he had a good 4 years to sit back and put all the right pieces in all the right places and to make the perfect plan for him to get reelected again. Shelly, what do you think about that?
I'm gonna say my usual, and I think you guys are very miseducated, but I'm gonna say my everything because I gotta go. Okay.
Okay.
One, for South Africa, the only reason why they letting them over here because the South African government is kicking them out. They took all the land from us. So the South African president told all the white folks, he went door to door and said, get out. The land's gone. He took all the land from them. So
let me ask this question. He's kicking them out the country?
No. He took the land back. All the land the white folks took, he took it back. So they don't have nowhere to go. So of course the good old boy system, Trump probably is letting them over here.
He's been taking their land back. They've been going on for
so that's a good thing. He's taking the land back. So that's good. 2, because he's black. 2, Barack Obama deported more people than anyone in history. He just didn't get the news coverage. So it's
you know what, Shelley, you like to go on Barack.
no.
I just saw something the other day. In fact, I purposely brought this. I took a picture of this for you, Shelley, because I think you made the statement a while back. Somebody you wasn't taking credit for, but you said somebody said Barack was the worst president, and I just saw an MSN article yesterday that had the top 25 presidents, and guess who came in at number 10?
In popularity.
It doesn't matter.
But the point is, I was just saying, as far as immigration is concerned, he deported more people in history than any other president. He just didn't get the news coverage, so I think it's bad. 3, hold on, let me finish now. Okay, for the young lady, congratulations, all that. Please give me the information so I can get the product from my daughters. Stop drinking all that water, it's very bad for you. And I wanted to say on your story, I've got a story for everything, but I too was paralyzed on the left side. And from an accident, and got all my stuff back and blah, blah, blah. And on the 28th day, it's a long story, but the 28th day, the hospital came to me. I couldn't even walk. They said, you don't have no insurance. You got to go. And in 5 minutes, wrapped me up and got me up out of there. So the hospital is about the money. But as far as you and your lawsuit, definitely pursue that, because most attorneys will turn you down because they only like to fight stuff that they are guaranteed to win. But I would not quit on it because you definitely have a malpractice suit. So go hard on that. Definitely.
Okay, for sure. And how can I send you my stuff? And I want to say thank you. And I'm so glad that you are here. And maybe
I got you. I'll get it to you. I get it to you.
She'll get to you, but definitely continue your thing. Good luck. Congratulations. I'm glad you're here and alive. And y'all leave off the Republicans. And we'll do this again next week.
Okay, so Shelley,
we always depend on God. That's all we got to do. Just depend on God, because He's the only one that can move and groove. He is the one that gives us the power to gain wealth. And we, at the end of the day, are the one, like Michael Jackson say, it starts with the man in the mirror and the woman in the mirror.
Yes, the inner God. That's energy, inner God.
Amen. Amen. So Shelley, somebody put in the chat, Barack is the Black Messiah. And then somebody else put 3 crying, rolling, laughing faces. Shelley is right about Obama deporting people, but Obama is still one of the top presidents. So
of course, he's black, he's smooth, he can talk, articulate. Like, that's my guy too. I watched him. I learned from everybody. So I like him. I just know our current administration is doing as much good as they can. Yes, it's a good old boy system, but honestly, it should be that. We should have that. Our people should be good old boy and our people. So it's not.
We gonna go way to the left, because you the president that got Teslas on the front yard telling people on the White House lawn talking about buy Tesla.
You know who okayed his bill for that? Biden. Yeah, Biden did that.
That was a poor decision. This is not.
Yeah, but it wasn't Trump. I'm saying it was Biden. It was y'all's president who did it. It was a bad decision.
This is not Democrat versus Republican. This is about making idiotic decisions while you're in the White House. And if Biden did pass that.
Biden did that. But it's a good old boy system. So I personally think they're supposed to look out for each other. Just like we're supposed to look out for each other. Just because we were taught we're all equal and stuff, they've never thought that throughout history. They've never felt we were equal to them. So how can we get mad because they doing what they're supposed to be doing and we not? We got the same amount of power. We got more buying power. We got enough to do everything they do, and we just don't do it together, the people.
We 100%, 100% absolutely right.
Yeah. We got way more power. We just don't stick together. That's all.
It's true. I agree with you 100% on that. I think this is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, it is.
It is. So we got to break it. But
on my way out, so nobody.
Okay, Kelly, but you might want to hear this. Somebody put in the chat: Black people like Bill Clinton because he plays the saxophone. Honestly, back then, Bill Clinton was the closest thing we had to a black president.
Listen, that was a Democrat.
Like Bill, but
that was a Democrat. Him and Joe Biden and wrote the '94 crime bill that imprisoned more black people in that year than ever. So, you know, there was
Clinton
and Biden. They wrote the '94 crime bill.
Okay. All right. All right. We gonna wrap this up because this can continue going on and on. We'll have another talk on this.
But thank you, and y'all add me, Shelly.Solutions. Good luck to you, beloved, and Cola. You my girl. And then Tammi, I'll talk to you.
Okay. Before we end this, I do want to, acknowledge that we lost Angie Stone. So we, rest in power to her. But it is interesting that you have these conspiracy theories out there that the record label tried to kill her, But I'm trying to figure out how much power would they have had to cause a truck to hit her. So I'm just like, but that's what they do.
Yeah, and it was just
she's the only one who supposedly passed. Everybody else made it out.
And it was a coincidence because a few weeks ago she went on live and said they won't give her her master's, and she found.
But that happens every time somebody open their mouth.
Yeah, and then she passed away like Prince and the rest of them. So it is crazy how they're doing this.
Wow. Okay. Well, but rest in power to her. They've been having some beautiful services for her. So listen, Cola E, what's some last final words you have for our people? Because we that's why I listen. Everyone, join us next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be back with the talks, and I know Mercury will still be in retrograde, but we're gonna try to have everything started on time. And of course the chat is going, ain't no trying. They killed Michael Jackson through his doctor.
But
I don't mean to laugh. I know, Shelly, bye. Bye. So Cola, what final words do you have for these beautiful people this evening?
All that I just want to say that all that looks bad does not always end bad. Miss Beloved DyNasty, who was once paralyzed, Shelly mentioned he was once paralyzed. So a lot of times there is light at the end of the tunnel. And no matter what anybody is going through, we can never, ever give up. And I noticed that Beloved, throughout our conversation, she was just saying, I ain't built like that. I don't give up. I just can't. And that came up several times during the conversation. I might be paraphrasing what she said, but basically she was saying, I'm not built like that. I'm not wired like that. I don't give up no matter what it is that I do. And obviously she's walking and was on a 5K walk. She don't give up. So, and that's the attitude that I think we should, from tonight's conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff, as we always do, but from her story, I would just really like to grab and pull out of her story the not giving up factor. Because for somebody to be paralyzed due to hospital malpractice, and then her children were by themselves for a year, and she was in the hospital, like her life could have just totally fallen apart. But look at her now.
Yes.
Now. So God is real, and we can't give up. Those two things from tonight, God is real, and we cannot give up.
Okay, look, y'all are all look, I'm country. Y'all all in my message, because earlier she said something that I said that's in my message when I go speak in North Carolina this Sunday. One of my points is quitting is not an option. That's one of the points in my message, and I do I expound and break down why I say that. So that's to everyone. So look, you guys are getting total confirmation, even when life is lifing and it is out of control and it is crazy and you just like, you can't. You can't throw in your hands. Now, if you throw up your hands, it's to say, God, I surrender and I trust you. That's when you throw up your hands, say, God, I release control and I give it all over to you. Okay? Beloved, what you got for the people as we bring this to an end?
Okay, lovely people of Tammi and company. I want to say, don't second guess yourself. Someone once told me, give yourself grace. Like, we can give everybody else grace, but when it comes to yourself, you are so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace and don't second guess yourself.
Wow. Now that's another confirmation confirmation in a message that I was listening to today. I want to say either today or yesterday. So yes, don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Love you. Oh, and when I mentioned my holistic doctor earlier, and I told y'all, and he said to laugh, do something that he told me to do. He said, hug yourself. How often do we hug ourselves? Like, we'll look in the mirror and give ourselves affirmations. We'll tell ourselves how good, we are and how worthy and everything. But just love on yourself. Tell your body how much you appreciate it and appreciate, it being this vessel, this temple. What does the scripture say? The Holy Spirit is in you. This is the temple of the living God. So love on yourself. Be that pleasant, happy, get that laughter in every day. And just know you got this. That's what I want to say. You got this. So with much love and gratitude, I thank my panel, Cola E and our man Shelly. And I just think, beloved, again, divine connection, girl, we support you. You got this. Don't give up. Keep it moving. Yes, yes, yes. And again, if you are not part of our community, I invite you to subscribe to receive future notifications as we are here Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content. Also, the first week of the month, I put up an inspirational moment, mental health empowerment session. That's under my planting and watering playlist. So next week, oh no, it's not next week, it's following week. But be on the lookout for that. And also, I asked, give this video a thumbs up because our girl her story was powerful. Her testimony was beautiful and amazing. And somebody put it, what you just said in the chat was beautiful. Give her a thumb up. Give us a thumbs up as we are growing and expanding our reach. And we need you to do it with us, to help us do that, as well as share this with somebody else, because I know someone can benefit from this testimony. So I leave you all with this quote. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. And that's from the late, great, I keep going back to our girl, Maya Angelou. So you beautiful people stay amazing. Peace, love, and blessings. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.